Shalom. Before I start, I want to give all honors and glories and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Waha, Waka, Kodash. Yahweh, which is the one true name of the Heavenly Father. Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, but his one true name is Yahweh Shai. Bahashem, meaning coming in the name. Ba means coming in, Ha means the, Shah means name, Waka means holy, Kodash means spirit. Double honors to the elders and the apostles and bishops of Great Millstone who will well and teach well, because those are the men who I learned this truth from through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Peace, blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect, and shalom to you sincere brothers scattered abroad, pushing forth this word in truth and sincerity. And shalom to you sincere sisters as listen in silence as the scriptures command you to do so. I am the brother Mashiach Arazakah from the servants of Yahweh Yahweh Shai camp, Las Vegas, Nevada branch. And pretty much in this lesson, this is going to be a short secular history lesson. Now, we always talk about Antiochus, right? And now we're gonna show people that what Antiochus the Fourth Epiphanies did, okay? Because we mention it, we go online and we talk about it, but I actually had a book going into him. Now, look, Antiochus, right? Antiochus Fourth named Epiphanies. Now look at this. We're going to read all the way down. Antiochus the First, Antiochus the Second, Antiochus the Third, Antiochus the Fourth Epiphanies. So we're going to read about him. Lord willing, this lesson's edifying. It says Antiochus, right? Antiochus, right? It says withstander, the name of the 13 members of the Seleucid Dynasty. You see that? Because you had Alexander the Great. He had, prominent generals. He had a lot of generals, but the scriptures mention the main four, which was Ptolemy, Casandor, Seleucus, and Lysimachus. See, this is during the Seleucid rule. All right, and it says the name of the 13 members of the Seleucid dynasty. It says of Syria. It says the Seleucid governed Palestine, right, from 280 BC, following the division of Alexander the Great's empire, until the Roman commander Pompey made Syria a Roman province in 63 BC. You see that? The book of Daniel prophesies about the following three of these rulers, although it mentions none of them by name. You got Antiochus, right? That's Antiochus. Antiochus the Second, right? It says Antiochus the Second, 261 to 246 BC. Surnamed Theos, which is God, lowercase g. He was a drunken, immoral ruler, easily swayed by favorites. The prophecy of Daniel 11:6 probably refers to him. Refers to him, for he, right, divorced his wife, Laodice, if I'm saying her name right, Laodice. It says, who was his half-sister. This dude is crazy. It says to marry Bernice, the daughter of Pompey, the ruler of Egypt, right? Because Ptolemy was ruling Egypt during that time. It says Antiochus the Third. So this is his son, Antiochus the Third, right? And it says Antiochus the Third, 223 to 187 BC. It says surname Magus the Great. It says he was the second son of the Seleucus, second Colonisticus, right? And the successor of his older brother. It says Seleucus the Third Soter. It says the Seleucids of Syria and the Ptolemies of Egypt waged continual struggle for control in Palestine. It says Antiochus III finally defeated the Egyptian general Scopus and Panias, right? The New Testament of Caesarea Philip in 198 BC, giving the Seleucids complete control of Palestine. It says the victory eventually led the worst persecution the Jews had yet endured. You see that? So when you say to the Jew first and also to the Greek, that Greek there is talking about Israelite foreigners. They were persecuted during the Greek Empire. They were Hellenized, right? They were Hellenized. And it says some scholars see Daniel 11:10 through 19 as reference to Antiochus III, but an allusion of is vogue, right? Now look at this. It says coin issued by Antiochus the fourth Epiphanes. It says Syrian ruler, Salakia. Syrian ruler, right? It says Syrian ruler, Syrian ruler whose discretion of the Jewish temple triggered the revolt of the Maccabees. And this is a coin of Antiochus the fourth Epiphanes. Now look, remember it's talked about the persecution of the Israelites, right? It says Antiochus the fourth, right? Antiochus the fourth, 175 to 164 BC, surname Epiphanies, God manifestus. It says, but called by his Jewish enemies, Epiphanies, right? Madman, Antiochus the fourth was one of the cruelest rulers of all time. He was cruel. It says, like his father Antiochus the third, the great, he was enterprising and ambitious. It says, however, he had a tendency to cruelty that bordered a madness. His primary aim to unify his empire by spreading Greek civilization and cultures brought him into direct conflict with the Jews, talking about the Israelites, right? It says this conflict broke into open rebellion in 167 BC. Accounts of these conflicts are found in the apocryphal book of Second Maccabees, right? Because when you read Second Maccabees, the 6th chapter, it goes into the persecution of the Israelites. They couldn't keep the Sabbaths, the high holy days. They couldn't keep the Sabbaths. They couldn't circumcise their children. They couldn't keep the laws. They couldn't keep any of the Israelite traditions. If they were caught doing that, they were put to death. They were put to death. It's going to mention it. It says the revolt began with Antiochus. It says edict that sought to unite all the peoples of his kingdom in religion, law, and custom. It says the Jews were the only people who would not adhere to his edict, right? It says, look, see? It says Antiochus issued regulations against observing the Sabbath. Talking about the Israelites. They couldn't keep the Sabbaths. Practicing circumcision. They couldn't do that. They couldn't do circumcision. And keeping all food laws. They couldn't keep the dietary laws. These regulations were followed by the abomination of the desolation. Daniel 11:31. It says the discretion of the altar of the burnt offering in the temple in Jerusalem. Jews were forced to participate in heathen festivities, right? And were put to death if they were caught with the book of the law in their possession. So if they were caught doing any of those things, they were executed and put to death. They became Hellenized. They became Gentiles. So when you see to the Jew first and also to the Greek, this proves it. So to you people that comment on my comment board, this proves it. So when it says to the Jew first, that's talking about the southern kingdom. And when it talks about to the Greek, that's talking about the Israelites that were what? It says it right here. It says Jews, which were those Greek speaking Jews, right? Jews were forced to participate in heathen festivities and were put to death if they were caught with the book of the law in their possession. It says, as the revolt led by the pious priest, it says Mattathias, right? It says, and his sons gained momentum. It says the Jews united to overthrow Seleucid domination of their land. It says the Syrians were rooted and the temple was cleansed on the 25th of Cheslevel in 165 BC. The cleansing is now observed by the Jews as the Feast of Lights of Hanukkah, right? And it says around December 25th, according to the ancient writers of Antiochus IV, withdrew into the east following his defeat. He died in Persia, a madman. The little horn of Daniel 8 and 9 is the reference to Antiochus the fourth Epiphanes. So there you go. When it talks about to the Jew first and also to the Greek, That's talking about the Israelites and the Israelite foreigners. You had Israelites, that Greek there is talking about the Israelite foreigners because they were Hellenized. This talks all about it right here. Antiochus, the fourth Epiphanies. So hey, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. On to the next one. Shalom.